Hello and welcome to Books and Beyond. My name is Jimmy Bennett and I'll be your host today. Well, every day, but today, a few things I want to talk about is, we're all in a bad spot right now. COVID's, really keeping us all down. But we have to stay safe. We have to wear our masks. We have to be careful and courteous of everybody else. We can beat this thing, but it's going to take a while. Usually I have my Christmas party show this time of year with CAPA, the Connecticut Authors and Publishers Association, but we can't get together this year because, of course, COVID again. But I got a chance to do something I think is rather special. And this is a hard time of the year for many, many people. So today I have a very special guest. She is the founder and director of Operation Fresh Start. I've worked with Shannon DePerry for a long time at the Fisherman years and years ago. She has a big heart and she has been doing some wonderful things. So I'd like to introduce her and hear what she has to let her explain to us about Operation Fresh Start. Hi, Shannon, how are you?
Hi, Jimmy, how are you? Great to see you.
Good. So, hey, you know what? Not that I'm surprised because like I said, you got the biggest heart of people I've known, and
thank you.
I think what you're doing is wonderful. So tell me, what is Operation Fresh Start?
Well, Operation Fresh Start started as a thought in my head back in the last winter when I found out that kids in foster care carried their things in trash bags to their foster homes, and it just didn't resonate with me well, and it bothered me for a long time. And I thought, what can I do? What can I do to make a difference? And so I came up with, I'll do a luggage drive. So I put it out on Facebook and on the Stonington Forum that I would be at Stonington Pizza from 3 to 4 on a Wednesday. If you want to drop off a suitcase, a backpack, a duffel bag, so that these kids will have something to transport their things in when they get taken from wherever it is that they're taken to their foster home. So many people came that I had to go home and get a second car. And then Panera Bread, where I'm working now, jumped on board with 28 cafes jumped on board. Waterford Hotel Group jumped on board, and Panera Bread and Groton let us use the back room. My mother-in-law, Pam Torville, who was my right arm, my left leg, and my eyes and ears, washed, sanitized, cleaned, checked every zipper on every single bag to make sure that it was in perfect working order. We collected enough toiletries because sometimes these kids, they don't have a toothbrush. I've never been without a toothbrush. Have you?
No.
So I had dentist office that donated toothbrushes. The Westerly Hospital gift store, I know the lady that runs it, donated a bunch of toiletry bags and things like this. I put it out on Facebook, and every single day I'd come home from work and there would be boxes of toiletries. Puffies, soap, shampoo. We all have a closet full of hotel soaps that we don't use it because we bring our own, but we take it because we paid for it, right? I had a guy give me literally a case, not open, nothing was open. So we use those so that they have shampoo because, you think about it, the little kids don't see it, so it probably isn't as hard for them, but for older kids, above 10, it's got to be hard for them to ask, can I have a toothbrush? I don't have a toothbrush. It was hard. So we did that. And it was 600 suitcases, 300 drop bags. We donated them to Waterford Country School, Our Kids Inc. in New Haven, and DCF in New Haven. But we also teamed up with Main Street House in Noank, it's a homeless shelter for young adults that have aged out of foster care, or young kids between the ages of 18 and 24 that have found themselves without a home. So we helped them. They needed toiletries, they needed toilet paper, paper towels. They have a very, very small budget for what they have, and there can be up to 9 kids in that house at any time. So we just started helping them, and then COVID happened. So what do? I'm laid off. I don't have anything to do. I don't do good sitting still. So I'm like, what can I do? So we just started helping people. Some woman named Kathy Murphy. I honestly have never met Kathy face to face, but she was kind enough to reach out to me and created a Facebook page for us because I am computer not so good. Food and flowers I'm good at. So she created this Facebook page for us. So people started joining, and when we had a need, whether it was toiletries, whether it was bedding, whether it was food, toilet paper, paper towels, clothes, because sometimes these kids move into Main Street House, all they have are the clothes on their back.
Right.
So, but I want to tell you about someone very special. Her name is Lexi. She was a young lady that I met at Main Street House. When I met her I believe I met her in March or April. She's 24 years old and pregnant with twins, and she's homeless. And it's COVID. So the rehousing at that time was very, very hard. Everything, they couldn't get anything. It got pretty crazy there for, people that were in need like that. But she's a strong girl, and she worked every single day. She worked her job 40 hours a week, plus being pregnant with twins. She just delivered she got into Thames River Family Program, which is just a phenomenal organization that we are now working very closely with. And she just had her baby twins about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and she's doing nice. Well. And it's so nice to see the success, success of someone that there are resources out there for people. It's hard. It's not always easy to find them. A lot of times it's just hard to ask for them.
Well, I make a point about that. A lot of people talk about shopping small and supporting your community and supporting your businesses. But even in your charity, like you say, and doing good things, one thing I really admire about your organization is that even though you reach out to New Haven and other places, you do a lot of good in this community. Whenever whenever you do something like that, you hear a story like that, it's just heartwarming to hear that, this girl is actually doing well now with her twins, and that's something that adds to our community. Yes. And adds to our well-being. And
people felt like they were a part of her journey. I mean, I have a lady that lives up the street from me that knits, or I think it's knitting or crocheting. I can't tell the difference, but she made her these beautiful outfits for the twins. So many people donated furniture and beds and changing tables. Everything she needed got donated to her. And she is so grateful. Like every time I talk to her, she's just like, thank you all so much for everything that you did. It's nice to see the success of someone, because sometimes you fall on hard times. It's not always something that you did that makes you have a hard time in your life. But this community around here, Stonington, Pawcatuck, Groton, Norwich, Westerly, North Stonington, our little bubble right down here has the kindest people I've ever seen. And a lot of the reason that I continued to do this after the luggage drive was because because the world was it's kind of angry right now. There's a lot of division and just people don't know what to do with themselves. We're missing human touch. We're missing human contact. Nobody feels quite right now because of COVID, just in the state of the world right now. But if you can do something kind for someone else, it warms your heart and it makes you feel better. And when you feel better, you put out good in the world, and will start to heal a little bit. And I see a trend. I see so many people doing all these wonderfully nice things for people right here, right in our little community. We're right in the middle now. Well, we did the flower cart when COVID happened. We did the flower cart. We sold flowers in front of my mother-in-law's house on Greenhaven Road all summer long, out of flowers we picked from our gardens and vases that were donated by the community. And we raised a very nice amount of money that all went back into Operation Fresh Start to help whoever needed help. Then the seasons ended. No more flowers. Right. Not happy at all. But now it's Christmas, and there's so many people and families out there that don't have the means to give their children a gift this year. And I'm not going to let any kid go without a gift this year. It ain't happening. So my husband, who is a wonderful carpenter and the best guy I know, made me a Santa sleigh. all I really wanted was a piece of plywood that looked like a sleigh. He made me a sleigh that you can sit in. It's really awesome. We parked that out in front of my mother-in-law's house, which is right behind my house. And we have filled it up already 4 times with gifts for
Now,
children.
so do people just come and put the gifts in the sleigh?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
you got to give me an address here so people
Yes, it's 489 Greenhaven Road in Pawcatuck.
Okay.
And it's on Saturday and Sunday. This Saturday and Sunday will be our last weekend. You can drop them off on the porch also. We don't ever know what the weather could be, but if you have a gift and you can't drop it off on the weekend, just leave it on the porch and my mother-in-law will take care of it. She's been organizing everything. I have the best mother-in-law in the world.
Well, I just want to reiterate, it's always good to donate or to help charities out, putting a couple of bucks in the Salvation Army pail,
Sure.
help other people, even people that you don't necessarily know, but to do something within your community, to know that a toy that you're going to drop off, you know what I mean, is going to go to a kid that, you might be playing with it one day, that's a very special thing.
It is.
As you said before, it's a very angry world. And, maybe you're right. Maybe people should stop pointing fingers and looking for what sets us apart, but help each other and bring us all closer together.
Yeah.
And I just think it's an absolutely, wonderful thing. So now you collect all the toys. What do you do now with the toys?
Okay, so my mother-in-law, because I work full-time, she's over there. My mother-in-law has been homebound since COVID happened. She has a very low immune system, so she has not been able to go anywhere. And she's a very active person. She's not a sit-around kind of gal. So this has been good for her to have something to focus on, but it's also a tremendous amount of work. She has organized by group. We have Thames River Family Program, which we had a full list of the families that lived there with what they wanted for their children. And we put that out on our Facebook page, and people have adopted families that way. But
Nice.
So that has been going on for a few weeks now. And if anybody wants to join our Facebook page, it's Operation Fresh Start. Feel free to, and you can watch our journey and join our journey if you like. And then she has it separated to Waterford Country School, Main Street House, Our Kids Inc. We delivered to them last week a big carload full of stuff, so I don't know that I'll be going back to New Haven. But we have also teamed up with our fantastic Stonington Police Department. This Saturday, the 12th, I believe. Yes, the 12th. They are having a Fill the Cruiser drive. A lot of the Pawcatuck Neighborhood Center and things like that, they're only taking gift cards, but the police department is going to set up where families can make an appointment and come in and pick out a toy for their children.
Oh, that's great.
It'll be a COVID safe, everything, but they need the toys. So we have a big, huge, at least a carload full of items that will go to that on Saturday.
Wow.
I mean, we've had people, the Ninnegrit Quilters group in Ninnegrit, Rhode Island. One of the ladies was a customer of mine when I worked at Noah's, great lady. Her group has given us these cute little dolls, but also some beautiful handmade quilts for the babies, because there's a lot of babies at Thames River. But we also had a family that was in crisis a few weeks ago. I don't want to go into details. It's personal to them, but they donated 3 handmade beautiful quilts to them so that they would have something comforting to wrap around themselves.
That's beautiful.
That's the kind of love that I'm feeling from these people out there. And it's just such a beautiful thing. It's such a beautiful thing. And it warms my heart, fills my eyes with tears a lot, but they're happy tears. So those are okay.
Well, I think that, you're almost perfect for this. Well, you are perfect for this kind of thing because
thanks.
So many people too.
Yeah.
You've been in the restaurant business for a long time. And you're a nice person. You get along with everybody.
Thanks, Jimmy.
So,
I try.
So I think it's just wonderful. I'm wondering, how do you find the people to help, or do they find you?
Well, they've kind of found me through other people. now that we kind of established a name for ourselves, other organizations like Water for Country School, I mean, we basically were just dropping things off to them, but now they feel comfortable enough with us that that if they have a need, they don't hesitate to ask to see if we can help. I think even for the organization, sometimes it's difficult for them to reach out and ask for help because there's so many people that are in need. It's hard for them to think, should I ask? Right. You know what? My point is ask, because the worst I'm gonna say is no to you. Right. You know, and so far I haven't had to say no to anybody.
I can't imagine you saying no to anybody. Be honest with you.
I'm not. I understand it.
I mean, it's I just want to, so like, I just wanted people to know if you do have a need, though, can they contact you on Facebook or message you or?
Sure. Yeah, the best thing to do is message me on Facebook right now. We are in the process of becoming a true nonprofit. Right now, we haven't quite got to that point, but all the paperwork is in. One of my great friends from Stonington has helped us on this journey with all the legalities of becoming a nonprofit, because it's not my forte, No,
there's a lot of paperwork.
It is, and I'm not good. I don't even balance my checkbook, I just don't do good stuff like that. So she has helped us, and it's all in the works. Partly because of COVID, everybody's working from home on the state end, so we're waiting for paperwork to come in. Right. But we will be, we'll in the next year you'll see us grow a lot more and have more information out there. And just people offering to volunteer. A lady this weekend dropped off a whole bag of hand knitted hats that she made for all the kids. Just such beauty, just such beauty in the world.
Nice. So who do you have helping you? How many people do you have in your?
Well, we have a lot of people. I haven't really had to ask for a lot because I don't know. I just tend to just do it myself, but I am learning that it's a little helpful for me if I do ask people to drop off or pick up things. I really haven't had to too much, but there's quite a few people in our little group that will, if they say, if you need anything, you need me to drop something off, don't hesitate to call. So I'm going to start, stop spreading myself quite so thin and ask for help, especially over this, the toy drive.
I think it's wonderful. It's good to see people out there bumping up their karma, and
it is. It's nice to see, it doesn't cost anything to be kind. Nothing. Right. It costs you nothing to be kind, and sometimes that little bit that you give someone means more to them than you will ever know. Right. I'll give you an example. Today, something happened. I was texting with the lady over at Main Street, and she came to my house last night and picked up a bunch of clothes that someone dropped off. Beautiful, like brand new. This girl had a couple young girls. They had moved off to college or whatever. She packed up this bag of two big bags of beautiful clothes. And they just had gotten a girl at Main Street, and she didn't have anything. And she was so grateful and felt so much better about herself having something nice.
Right.
So that little bit of kindness that woman did, that cleaned out her kids' clothes because it needed to be done, it didn't cost her anything, but it was a super kind thing to do. And it made someone feel good again.
Nice. Well, I want to ask you about that. So you really take everything, even besides the flowers and the suitcases and the toys, you take almost anything that somebody could need for a household?
When we need that. We don't, at this point, we don't have a storage place. So when a need arises, that's why I encourage people to join our Facebook page, because the need will arise. Say there's someone living at Main Street House that they got that person into an apartment. So right. He needs, say it's furnished with a bed and a dresser and a kitchen table, but they have no dishes, they have no towels, they have no shower curtain, they have no cleaning supplies, they have no bedding, things like that it costs a lot of money to set up a house.
It does.
You know, I mean, I've moved enough times in my life. I know it's not
Yeah,
a
there's so
cheap
many
thing
things
to do.
so many simple things that we take for granted. I mean, I wouldn't even think about a shower curtain.
Yeah.
You know what I
And
mean?
shower hooks.
Yeah.
And a toilet brush. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, and some toilet cleaner. You know,
Yeah.
those things. That's $50 right there.
Yeah.
You know, but I know in my basement, I probably have 3 shower curtains that I've used twice that are in perfect condition. You know,
Right.
and all you got to buy is a $5 one at TJ Maxx for the liner, and you have a beautiful shower curtain, and you have a nice bathroom, and you have a nice home. You know, understand a lot of times these young adults, I call them kids because I'm old, but these young adults, this is their first home on their own, and they should be able to take some pride
Right.
and have a home that feels like a home, not a shelter.
Right.
You know, and that's something that we did for Main Street House, is that we furnished them with curtains for all the rooms in the house. It's a big old Victorian house, and
Yep.
they didn't have curtains. They had blinds, but the blinds fall down and they break. And think about how you would feel if you didn't have a home and you went to a shelter and you had this nice room to be in that had nice curtains and a lamp and a picture on the wall that felt like a home, not a room.
Right.
So we did that for them with part of that's what we used some of the money that we got from the flower cart with, you know, to help them have a better place for the kids.
That's just wonderful.
And it didn't cost that much. You know,
No, I mean,
pennies on the
like
dollar.
you say, there's so many things that people don't use, or just, you know, like you say, gathering dust in the closet.
Yeah.
You know, put aside going, well, one day I'll have to take that to the dump. You know what I mean? Or get rid of it somehow.
Right. Or the 5 coats you have hanging in your closet that you don't wear anymore, because
Right.
every year you get a new coat, but
Right.
you don't want to get rid of them because you don't know what to do with them.
Yeah, because you only wore them a couple times, or
Yeah.
and that is a beautiful thing. I mean, I hope that you'll be able to connect with a lot more people, and, you know, give everybody a chance to help like that.
Yeah.
Hey, hopefully we'll have to work on getting you some storage space somewhere. There's got to be
I
something out
actually,
there.
there was a person that dropped off toys the other day that reached out to me that they have a moving and storage place, and they have offered us to have a place if we need it. So see,
That's great.
that's what I mean, Jimmy. Like I said, this has been everything that I have needed has been put in my path without me even asking for it.
Well,
Like, it's crazy. If you would have told me a year ago that this is where my life would be, I would have said you're crazy. Where would I find the time to do this?
right.
But I did, and it was put in my path, so I'm going with it. I'm full steam
No,
ahead.
it's wonderful. So, what are your plans for the future? What are you thinking?
Well,
where
our
would you like to
next,
go?
the winter so far, we don't have a lot going on, but in the spring, we are going to do a huge plant sale, because we're friends with some of the garden clubs, and we have these great friends, Mystic Shoreline Gardeners on Facebook, that have been such wonderful supporters of us, all through the flower cart. When we got low on flowers, they would come and bring buckets of flowers to us, and just a great group of people. And, you know, flower people are nice anyways, you know.
Yeah.
We like flowers, you know. So we're going to do a big plant sale. We'll have the flower cart going again as soon as we have flowers again. Winter's here, but I guess we wouldn't appreciate spring if we didn't have winter, they tell me.
Right.
I think I would.
I could do without winter myself,
Yes.
but, you know.
Yeah.
But well, that's nice. And then with the nonprofit organization, what will that enable you to do?
That will help us a lot, because once we are a nonprofit, we can apply for grants. And we've already had several organizations reach out to us, a couple churches, the Eastern Connecticut Chamber of Commerce. Thank you guys. You are the best. They gave us a year membership.
Oh, wow.
Which was so kind, and it's what great networking, and it will make us have so many great connections, and they have great seminars and things that will really help us grow as an organization. Nicest people ever. Like, I was flabbergasted. I guess she'd been watching us on Facebook,
Yeah.
We got stalkers. I
Yeah,
love
that's
it.
good.
I
Good. You
love
want a
it.
lot of them.
Yeah,
Um,
I love it.
we're getting a little low on time here, but you told me a story earlier, and I wanted you to tell people about your rather large donation, the moving one.
Oh, well, it was right when COVID happened, and Panera a lot of people got laid off, and one of my good friends, Bajat Sharif, was laid off, was let go from Panera, not for any bad reason, just the way life happened. He is truly the nicest person I've ever known in my life. Bajat has the biggest heart I've ever known. So he got a job in New Mexico, moved his family from Providence to Mexico. His mom lived in Providence and she moved back to California, so they're all closer to each other. Well, calls me up one day. Hey kid, I got a car I need to donate. Do you know anybody that needs one? And I wasn't looking for a car for anybody, but I made a phone call. There was an organization that needed a car to transport kids back and forth to their jobs and whatnot. And I put them together and they got the car.
That's beautiful.
And it was like, how does this happen? How does this happen? You know how it happens? It happens because there's so much good in the world. There's this much bad and this much good. We got to stop focusing on that 10% bad and look at the good and be kind, be nice to that person, smile, make eye contact. I know we can't see our faces because we're covered, but your eyes can still smile. You know, you can open a door for someone. You know, you can reach out a hand. You know, we call it a hand up. We never say a hand out because nobody wants a hand out, but we can all use a hand up sometimes. We all fall sometimes.
That's a beautiful sentiment. You know, it's true. And not just this time of year, Christmas, which makes you think about giving and love and being with everybody, being together. It's something that we need to do year round. And I think that this crisis has really shown us a lot of good in people. Sure, it's brought out the bad in some people, but I think a lot of people are realizing, you know, that we have to stick together, we have to work together, and we have to live together. And helping each other like this is just the most wonderful thing in the world.
It sure is.
And I can't tell you, Shannon, how proud I am just to know you. I mean, I've known you for forever.
Thanks, Jimmy.
But you know, and I always knew you for a beautiful person. I think what you're doing is just absolutely fantastic. And you know, maybe when this crisis gets over, or we can start getting out a little bit, maybe we can do a little fundraising thing and do it on air. You know, we'll film it, show it to the world, and let people know what they can do to help.
That's
and
awesome,
that's the best thing. So once again, your Operation Fresh Start, and you're on Facebook.
We are Facebook. That is our Facebook page right now. And our our toy drive is at the Big Red Sleigh at 489 Greenhaven Road in Pawcatuck. You'll see it right out front. It's usually completely full of toys. We'll be doing it this Saturday and Sunday. If the weather, I haven't looked yet, but if it's raining, you can just drop it off. There's a covered porch at the house and you can just drop your toys off there. So nobody wants a soggy doll, you know?
Well, I hope they pile them up so high that they can't even get in and out of the house.
That's what I hope too.
And I want to wish you a Merry Christmas and thank you very much for everything you're doing. God bless and take care of yourself. All right.
Thank you,
so
Jimmy. Thank you for letting us come on.
Beyond today, kids. Thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you'll support Operation Fresh Start. Thank you.